now, is it wrong to change the flag on the England kit? What do you make of this? Get your calls in 020 7862 2222. They've redesigned the St George's cross and people are really quite outraged. Nike say it's a playful update to the flag of St George appearing on the collar to unite and inspire. So let's just go back and remind ourselves what's in focus here. What's at stake? Of course it is the England flag. Of course it's the flag of St George. Bit of history for you. The association of the Red Cross of St George, there's St George, as an emblem of England can be traced back to the late Middle Ages. Let's have a Middle Ages person. When it was used alongside the royal banner, and it became the only saint's flag permitted to be flown in public as part of the English Reformation. It was, not now, sir, later. It was used as a component in the design of the Union Jack in 1606. So there's a lot of history. There it is inside that actual Union flag there that we use. Before we talk about Nike, we've got to mention flag desecration laws. Look at the colour coding here, OK? Green countries, you can desecrate your flag. Red countries, don't do it. Don't burn it, don't stamp on it, don't trash it. America, interestingly, you could, if you wanted to, burn the American flag, not recommended. Not much interest in these laws in Africa. Turkey, 18 years if you stamp on a Turkish flag. 18 years in jail. Don't do that. We don't have any laws against adjusting, burning, desecrating our flag. But you can become a bit unpopular if you do it. And this has triggered real fury. What have they done to our flag? What have they done to the St George's cross here with this multicolour? They say it's a playful update to the flag of St George. This is the first reply I saw. Luke Stallard. F Nike, sorry about the language, the utter C's, don't F with a country's flag. It's not playful, just simply disrespectful. How in the actual F have the FA allowed this? It's all triggered by this. Here's Aman Bogle. Dear Nike, this is the cross of St George. It's my flag. It's our flag. All those who call this nation home. Jamie O'Hara, I represented England as a schoolboy. Under 21, I felt pride. I felt honoured. I felt united. I felt inspired. I wore a shirt with my national flag on it. Nike, give our players their flag back. So he's crossed. Sophie Corcoran, who's on the right. Nike could have defaced any other part of the kit, but they chose the flag. Jack Palance, a reminder to Nike, it's an England flag, the one that millions of our soldiers fought and died for. You ungrateful, woke effers. Troy Hill, why is England the only country where the national flag is not respected? Hit Nike where it hurts. Don't buy this blank. And then they say, look, it's almost like our tolerance as a nation has seen us selected for this playful update. Go F yourselves. And then this boycott Nike call because they've defaced the St George's cross with a progressive cross. And believe it or not, those tweets were just the first half dozen I saw today. There have been thousands, Alex. Do you think they're justified?
Well, I went to the Olympic Games, as you know, and one of the motivations is representing your country at the highest level. I mean, most people would say you do it for yourself, you might do it for your family, but the flag actually means something quite mystical. And so when somebody comes along and decides for fashionable purposes to change it, it does bite a little bit. What I would say, though, is that the Union Jack on the back of a Mini, for instance, looks really nice. And you've got the Union Jack in different colours. People don't take quite so much offence.
That's true. I hadn't thought of that, yeah.
But the interesting thing about the flag of St George is two things. It's wedded to football, and it's wedded to a different kind of patriotism, which is the English patriotism, rather than the British one, which is a slightly different one.
Yeah. So even Keir Starmer's weighed in on this.
Was it wrong for Nike to change the cross of St George on the back of the New England kit?
Yeah, I think it was. And I think
What
it's
was
hard.
it they were doing?
Look, I mean, as you know, I'm a big football fan. I go to England games, men, the women's game, and the flag is used by everybody. It is a unified, it doesn't need to be changed. We just need to be proud of it. So I think they should just reconsider this and change it back.
All right.
I'm not even sure they can properly explain why they thought they needed to change in the first place. But one more thing on that. For me. They could also reduce the price of the shirts. I think we can all get
behind that.
What do you think, Jemma?
Yeah, it's sort of one of those decisions. It's a bit why, what for? Is it worth it? It isn't worth it. It's had all this backlash, but it is just a bit of trim on the back. I don't know. They explained that there was some inspiration from some previous training kit, but nobody's going to get that. And ultimately, as you say, if you're playing for England, that is the England flag. So why are you mucking about with it? I don't really get it.
Let's talk to Narinder Kaur on it. Narinder, what do you think of it?
I actually saw that flag and I felt included. I felt Nike's, the reason for doing it was to unite. And I did feel like that because actually, sadly, the St. George's flag has been hijacked. It is tarnished. And as far back as I can remember, 60s, 70s, 80s, it's been hijacked by far-right groups. And that's a fact. You know, all I see when I see the St. George's flag is, you know, people draped in it, doing the Nazi salute, being racist, hating Muslims. So there's nothing to be proud about when those kind of people are brandishing that flag around. There's nothing to be proud about. And it's actually quite scary.
Well, yeah, but then again, Alex, here, you rode under that flag, correct?
Well, it's the Union Jack.
Oh, because you, of course, a British competitor. So
yes, exactly. That's the reason why I was saying that there was.
But would you have? Yeah. Okay. So do you accept what Narinder's saying, which is that those associations are very, very difficult?
I reject fully what she just said, and I think it's an insult to a lot of us. One of the reason why I'd say this...
Why do you reject it?
Because the point I would make is that you cannot judge the entire nation's history and flag because a few people are distasteful, because otherwise you can go to every other country in the world and do exactly the same thing. If you think that the Chinese flag is...
few people...
So
those few people have very loud voices. Those few people have very loud voices.
Exactly, but you don't judge a country by the least pleasant people on
But sadly, that's the case.
Yeah, but
sadly,
don't do it.
Everybody, and that's why the majority who should feel proud, we should as a nation feel proud. You know, I've put out one tweet, and I've had so much backlash and so much racism that I rest my case. That actually, I don't feel proud of this flag. I feel scared of this flag. We are a multicultural society. We are tolerant society, but that flag does not represent tolerance. It represents racism. And that's just a sad fact. And actually,
that's
maybe
so
we could
outrageous.
reclaim it. Let's have a sensible conversation.
Well, it's not a sensible conversation to insult people.
There's some sort of nuance here. So unfortunately, there are a small percentage of people, sort of like National Front type people, who are definitely sort of using it and weaponising it in a racist way. But I also agree the vast majority of people who are watching the England football team don't feel like that. And if that is the flag, then they either have to...
Remember, Narinder is talking about this from her perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
but
a precious perspective.
It's
It's very easy, I'm sorry to say, as white people, when you're sat there, to say, actually, we're not racist. We know you're not racist.
Well, you're just being racist just now. You've just made a racist statement against me. You're trying to say that my position is only dependent on my...
Because you said you feel comfortable and we love the flag. But actually, for the ethnic minorities in the country, that's not the case.
But it's
so you're
not
not making us feel included.
Let's pause.
Gaslighting my experience.
Narinder, let's pause.
You're gaslighting my experience.
Go on, let's pause because I just want to take some calls. Simon, thank you. Stay with us. Simon in Dorset, hi.
Hi. I totally
what do you
agree
think?
with your lady that's just spoken.
Which one?
The lady on your screen there.
Okay, Narinder Kaur, yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree with what she's saying. I think that the FA allowing this to happen is totally wrong. I think that Nike should be ditched because they're making money. Now,
hang on, just Simon, let me clarify. I think Narinder feels very pained by the original England flag and is therefore thinking, look, redesign it because then it's less offensive. So what part of that do you agree with?
I think... Well, are we going to change the flags on Houses of Parliament?
Well, that might be next.
Are we going to change it on Buckingham Palace?
No one's saying to change the flags. No one is changing your flag. The flag is here to stay. What we need to do is get the majority that apparently are proud of this flag to reclaim what Britain is about. Because at the moment, actually, all we know the St. George's flag for is bigotry and fascism and racism. I'm sorry, that's just a fact. And the majority aren't displaying it proudly because even they feel slightly ashamed by it.
All right, stay with us, Narinder. We'll take a break. Thank you, Simon. We'll take a break. We'll take more of your calls in just a moment. Is it wrong to change the flag on the England England Euro kit, as Nike have done. They say it's playful. 0207 862 2222. See you shortly. Alex, Narinda and Jemma are with us. We are talking about the England shirt. We'll talk later about men-only members clubs, whether they should be shut down. But meanwhile, was it wrong for Nike to make their playful change? Shelley is in Newcastle. Hi, Shelley.
Hi.
That's the city that Narinda's from. What would you like to say?
Well, I'm offended by it, really. I mean, they've not tried to change any other country's flag but ours. They're trying to say it's to bring people together. Well, it's obviously dividing people. Well, we're all one country. We're all under one flag. That should be our flag. It's hardly ever shown anywhere anyway, which I think is offensive. I mean, our kit should be red and white, not red, white and blue with the Union Jack. I've always said, how come we play red, white and blue?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just plain wrong. That's our national flag. Even Iceland, believe it or not, it's coming up to Easter, and it's, believe it or not, putting a tick. It's funny how Nike's changed.
Oh yeah, do you know we're talking about that later? They put a tick on the hot cross buns. Yeah, I thought you meant Iceland, the country. Yeah, no, I mean I suddenly thought you were telling me that Iceland's flag had been replaced by a Nike tick. No, Shelley, thank you. Point taken. And Narinda, people getting very upset with any change to the flag.
I know, but I would just like to say to people, they are so upset about a flag. And I'm absolutely astounded at the reaction to people about a flag. It's a temporary playful take by Nike. You just manage, the whole country's managed to just give them huge amounts of publicity. But the fact remains, and I want to say to Shelley, she's right. We do need to be proud of our flag, but no one is proud of this flag. No one is. There's people want to be proud, but we can't be because it has been toxified. It doesn't have good connotations, Jeremy.
I want to know, in that Nike meeting, are they like, all right, lads, here's what we do: get a bit of extra publicity.
Well, yeah, but let's not,
flag.
Maybe, but this, trying to unravel what their thinking is doesn't really help us. Alex, what do you think about what Narinda said there? It's toxic.
Well, Narinda has a lot of qualities, I can tell. She's smart, fast and quick and sharp and everything else. One of the things that she does, and I would recommend she would stop doing, is using absolutes to describe her feelings. In other words, when you say that when everybody is finding the flag offensive, you are absolutely wrong in the reality, because most people in Britain do not think that their national flag is offensive. You feel that it is,
they don't wave it proudly. Actually, I disagree with that, because people don't wave it proudly.
You might disagree with me, but your disagreement is based on your feelings, not on facts, and that's a really key point. You're emoting strongly, but what you're not doing is that you're not looking at the actual facts on the ground.
You're saying she's got emotional.
Well, yeah, but that's what she keeps saying. Is that an argument? If you keep talking about your feelings without backed by facts.
Alex, hang on, let her speak, Alex.
Sorry, my apologies.
So Alex, where are your facts? Because you're saying I'm speaking with emotion, and that also is so, it's really patronizing when people say that, because the fact is, Alex, where are your facts that people are proud of this flag? I don't see people proudly waving this flag. I really don't. People are scared that if they do wave it, they're going to be seen as slightly racist. That's a fact.
Is that not true, Alex? That people who are not racist, who are law-abiding, decent people, may feel a bit of a cringe with this flag for the reasons Narinda says.
I've never witnessed that. And the other thing is, when you go to a game or when you see the flag of St. George flying when we're playing the World Cup, every pub, every house, a lot of houses, a lot of pubs, a lot of people wear that flag proudly. The reason why I'm saying that you're emoting is simply because you keep talking about your feelings, but the facts aren't backed by it.
Okay.
It might be that there's a small minority of people who are offended by flags, but there's always party poopers in every country in the world. And the thing that you might say is that in France, the French flag is offensive. In Germany, the German flag is offensive. In Spain, it is as well. So where do we stop?
Can we get some more calls? Ron is in South Lanarkshire. Sorry, hang on, Narinda. Sorry, let me just get some more calls. Sorry, forgive me. I will come back to you. Ron in South Lanarkshire, you want to speak?
Oh, hello, Jeremy. Listen, I'm well into my 80s now. I'm English by birth.
Right.
And I've lived in Scotland since 1955.
Wow.
If they start a mess about with the flag here in Scotland, there would be ructions. Now, the St. George's Cross, I don't find it offensive. I cheer on if they're playing football, naturally, I'm cheering England on. But I don't find, I've never found the cross offensive at all. Are they going to start messing about with the national anthem next? Are they going to change the words?
Well, let's see. Thank you, Ron. Thank you. Got to take one from Gina in London. What do you think? It's a bit sacred, this flag, Gina. You don't mess with it.
I think the flag represents a lot of wrongdoing, historical wrongdoing, and the racist people. Sorry?
No, keep going. We're listening to you.
Yeah, sorry. The flag does represent a lot of wrongdoing. And it's not something to be proud of. Time has moved on. We're a multicultural society now, but you have people, the racist hooligans, are using it for what it represents in the past. Racism, slavery, all these things. So maybe we do need to get rid of it. There's a lot of other things that represent, what they call Great Britain. In the past, what they call great wasn't great. We've moved on, and we're looking. Slavery was barbaric. It was savage. So the flag does not. The flag is not something to be proud of. I love the colour of the British flag. So it's white. It's a beautiful pattern, but what it represents is disgraceful. You wouldn't celebrate anything that Hitler did.
Thank you, Gina.
You wouldn't celebrate nothing that he did.
I don't think we can compare it to the flag of the Third Reich, for heaven's sake.
I thought that just to pick up on a couple of things. One, you said, I agree, not everybody is the same. And so those absolutes perhaps are a bit too much. But also, you described the minority who do weaponise and hijack this flag in problematic ways as party poopers. If they're horrible, violent, racist thugs, they're a bit more than that.
That's not what I meant. I meant that the word party is my way of speaking, but obviously I didn't. The fact that there are some people who use certain symbols to say distasteful thing is one thing, and we can all agree on it. But it's not the symbol of a country that should be attacked. It's more the people who say and have these views that should be. But
if they're marching under this flag, that's upsetting Narinda.
But the point is. Sorry, my apologies. Sorry. Carry on.
So Alex, so you said there's a few people, there's a minority, there are a few people. Actually, they're very loud voices, and you're almost just whitewashing what it's really about, and you're making excuses for how people feel. You're rubbishing people's feelings about how they do feel when they see this flag. And actually, you don't have any stats that people are proud to be waving this flag. They're actually not. And the whole history of Britain, like Gina said, it doesn't have good connotations, of flag. And when I saw the Nike's playful update, I felt safe looking at that flag. I like that flag.
I suppose,
and I don't know why.
Alex, it's impossible
you keep downplaying.
If Narinda says she feels safer with the Nike flag, it's not for me or for you to say she's wrong, is it?
No, I think the subject of discussion is what happens when you change a flag, and why we're trying to work out why it is that people are upset. And I think the best bit of facts I would give Narinda is the fact that the backlash has been substantial. That's the first. The reason why we're talking about this is because of what you said initially. Yeah. The second bit here is that 75% of people think that the flag is a patriotic symbol. These are the facts that I'm reading here on my sheet. And the third one is this innate desire to belong to something. And the only way you can display your country is through a flag. And if you like your country,
we've run out of time. We're going to take some more calls. We've run out of time. Narinda, thank you so much for joining us today with your powerfully held views. Later we'll be asking, should ear cleaning be free on the NHS? 2 million people.